Deputy Speaker, and last Saturday week I went to a celebration of my 20th anniversary for being elected to this Parliament, and we had a wonderful fundraiser there for a organisation, a cancer charity called Couch, and we raised a very significant amount of money. But as I reflected on the 20 years since I was elected, and thinking back to when I became a member in 1996, the Peninsula Development Road, the sealing finished at Lakeland, so it was unsealed from there, and from Lakeland to Cooktown was all unsealed. The Mulgrave River Bridge flooded regularly, closing the Bruce Highway. A mobile phone coverage was almost non-existent, and certainly as you moved further out of Cairns into the outer islands of Torres Strait and in Cape York, there was no dental school, there was no medical school, there was no veterinary school, there was no Institute of Tropical Health and Medicine at the James Cook University, and there was no power, no mains power north of the Daintree. Over those years, from then, I now reflect, all of those issues have been pretty much addressed. We're still working, but we've certainly got great coverage on mobile phone now and improving all the time. Peninsula Development Road is in the process of being sealed. The road to Cooktown is sealed. Mulgrave River Bridge has been built, so there's no flooding over that bridge. And we've got the dental school, we've got the medical school, we've got the veterinary school, and we've got a lot of other things, the Institute of Tropical Health and Medicine, James Cook University. But what we don't have is power north of the Daintree. It's the only community, Madam Deputy Speaker, in Australia where a state government legislated to prohibit the establishment of mains power for a community of close to 1,000 people. It's quite amazing, and they've done it, their argument, on the interest of conservation. Of course, that interest of conservation means it sees hundreds of diesel generators thumping away, burning diesel day in and day out to provide basic power needs. And of course there's a huge cost, not only to the environment, but to those citizens that are living there. Now, in 2007, when I retired for a short time from this place, I did state that one of the greatest regrets was that I hadn't been able to influence the state government to put power north of the Daintree. Came back in 2010, we've seen the Newman government, when it came in, the LNP government, actually take one step forward in that they rescinded the legislation that prohibited power north of the Daintree, but for a 12-year Daintree power electricity policy that was in place. Unfortunately, they didn't take another step in making it happen. It was, the policy at the time was described as despicable, discriminatory policy that devastated the Daintree rainforest's sole economy. Much than any other influence, it's been singularly responsible for the failed operation of 56% of businesses within the designated area over the last 10 years. This is not having the power. Now, so here we are, 2016, we're still trying to get this happening. You know, there was a family who purchased a local cafe and spent more than $80,000 on renovations and new equipment just to open just at the start of the 2015 season. 4 months later, they had to close the business because the takings didn't even cover the cost of fuel of running the generators. Coconut Resort was the only 4.5 star offering in the Daintree. It's now derelict. We also lost other big businesses up there, Fan Palm, Dragonfly and Jambu Cafes, all forced to close because of the power issue. Cow Bay Hotel has been in receivership twice in 3 years by successive owners, and one of the main reasons is the high cost of running generators. Now, you've got to congratulate those businesses up there that actually got some resilience and advocacy in their business and continued. Betty Hilton with Floravilla Ice Cream, Rod Lepeur with Rainforest Hideaway, Neil and Prue Hewitt, Coopers Creek Wilderness, Pam and Ron Burkett with the Daintree Discovery Centre, very multiple awards for that business. Justin and Christy White at Link Haven, and Carmen Fabrio from Cockatoo Hill Resort. The Russell Doherty's been and Teresa Doherty have been great advocates as the chair, and Russell is the chair of the Daintree Rainforest Committee. And he recently wrote a letter to the Queensland Premier asking for support. Unfortunately, that wasn't forthcoming. I am continuing to work with this community. It is about time they got power, desperately trying to make this happen. I have recently engaged with Ergon Energy, and I know that there's a role for the federal government here, but the first step has to be the state government coming on board, and we've got to encourage them to do that sooner rather than later.
The question is that the Federation Chamber do now adjourn, and I give the call to the member for Melbourne.